Everybody, I'm Macy, and this is my book channel, so welcome. I'm going to be talking all types of books, and today I'm going to be doing my favorite young adult books. So, yeah, here we go. So the first book I have is The Summer of Broken Rules. This book is about Meredith and Whit. Basically, Meredith, every summer she goes with her family to Martha's Vineyard, and they go for like a week, or they go for 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. And so basically they go every year, but she hasn't gone for 2 summers because her sister Claire passed away. And so she just hasn't felt like doing much of anything except just like missing her sister basically. And so she finally decides that she wants to like rejoin everybody and rejoin everything. And so she goes this summer, and she goes back for a wedding. And at the wedding, they play this game called, well, not at the wedding, but like during the time that they're there, they play this game called Assassin. And basically, Assassin is a game where everybody has a name, and the person with, like, if you have a name of a person, you go and you shoot them with a water gun and kill them. And if you can kill them, then you get their card and go find the next person to kill. And so that's it. It goes on the entire time they're there. So it's just kind of like a fun little game, and the last person standing wins. And so she and Whit decide that they're going to team up to help each other and like find out who has each other's names, or who has each person's name, and just where the people are and stuff like that. So they decide to do that, and well, their romance forms, and it is really good. This book is also great. I just completely missed. This book is also great for Taylor Swift fans. Like, they mention Taylor Swift quite a bit. I'm a Taylor Swift fan myself, and well, it is a really good book. It is a really good book because of all the reasons, but Taylor Swift mostly. So it's also really great for summer, or like it's winter now, but it puts me in the summer vibe. So, because I'm rereading it. So the next book I have is Anna and the French Kiss. This book is about Anna and St. Clair. And basically Anna's family like sends her off to France to boarding school, and they're like, you're gonna stay here now, so sorry. And she's like, well, I don't want to stay here. Like, she has a crush at home who's finally like starting to show interest in her, and she has like her best friend lives there back at home. And so she's like, I don't want to be here. But then there's this friend group that kind of like takes her under their wings. And so and St. Clair is one of the people in the friend group, and so he just kind of like shows her around and stuff like that. And she has like she like starts developing a crush on him, but he has a girlfriend. And so it's kind of like, like, you know, this like can't happen. And so it's just kind of them like, just like, he doesn't want to be in the relationship anymore, but they've been together for so long, and it's like he's trying to decide if it's easier to just stay with her. And then she just wants him to leave her because he's like, I'm better for you. But by the way, there's no cheating trope in this. So for the people who don't like that, because I'm not really big on that. But there's no cheating. So, and then basically you also, if you really like France, this is like a good book because they talk about a lot of like monuments in France. So I've never been, but I would like to. So, and then another book is If He Had Been With Me. This book is about Autumn and Finn, and basically Autumn and Finn have been best friends since they were best friends when they were little, but then they had a falling out, and they're both like, well, we don't want to be friends anymore, but their families are still friends. And so they're next door neighbors, and so they have to like see each other all the time, and they're both like, well, we don't want to be here. But they don't really have a choice because their families make them. And so it's basically just them. They also go to school together, but they like are very different. Like, he's popular, she's not. Like, she only hangs out with a few people, and he's like running the show up there. And so it's just them kind of like trying to figure out like how they could be friends again, and just kind of looking at each other from far away and like being like, dang, I miss him, I miss her, but there's nothing they can do about it because, well, neither one of them like really is like super like, we have to be friends again, like we need to sit down right now and talk about it. They're just kind of like pushing it away and stuff like that. So this book is also very sad. I do not like reading sad books, but this one was good. I gave it, I guess I'm not gonna say, well, I guess I'll say my ratings real quick. The Summer of Broken Rules was a 4 out of 5 stars. This book was a 4 out of 5 stars. And this book, I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. So, but all of them are good. But this one's sad. And I do not like sad books. But this one was a good sad book. I'm going to say sad book a lot, I guess. But it was good. So, anyway. Then we have Love and Gelato. This book is about Lena and Ren. Basically, Lena's mom died. And so she has to move to Italy with her dad. Well, she has to move in with her dad. And he lives in Italy. And so she's like, I don't want to be here. Like, I want my mom back. You know, she's like angry. But there's nothing they can do about it. And so but then she meets Ren, and Ren's like, I'll show you around, basically. And so he shows her all around Italy, like the area they live in Italy. And so she's like happy or whatever. But then she has like a bit of a mystery to uncover because her mom had a journal, and she has to basically figure out what happened with what happened with her mom and dad to make the falling out happen, like why they're not together anymore, not the falling out I guess, but why they're not together anymore, and then basically just like why everything happened the way it did. So why her dad didn't like come live with them in America, stuff like that. So this is a good book. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. So let me get my next book. Next, we have this. This isn't really young. This is the cheat sheet. This isn't really young adult. It's more like closed door romance. So it's clean, but there are some like topics that like not necessarily like a 12-year-old should read. But this book is about Bree and Nate. Basically, they're best friends, and he's a football player and she's a ballerina. They're best friends, but they keep like denying it. They keep friend zoning each other, but they like are in love. Like in their point of views, they talk about how much they want to date the other person, but then they like continue to friend zone each other in like when they're talking to each other. And so you're like, come on, just like come on. And so you just kind of like sit there, but then his agent says that he needs a girlfriend, but he's like, well, I don't have a girlfriend. And so they decide to fake date. And they just go around and like they have to like, he's famous, so they like go on like red carpets and stuff like that. And she's like, so they just like go around and they're fake dating, and things kind of like, he also has like a plot to get her to fall in love with him, because he thinks that he's the only one that's in love with her, but she's in love with him. And so he doesn't really have to make her fall in love. He just has to tell her like, hey, I'm in love with you. But he doesn't do that, of course. And so it's just them trying to figure out, like, just them being annoying, basically. But I love this book. It was like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So. And then this book isn't romance. It's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but it has romance subplot in it. And it's like a really good romance subplot. So this book is about Pip. Basically, a girl at her high school was murdered, and everybody said that it was the girl that was murdered, Andy's boyfriend, Sal. And so Sal killed himself and was basically like, you know, it was too much for him because everybody kept blaming him and stuff like that. And so Pip decides that she wants to like, she doesn't think that that's true. She doesn't think that Sal was the one that killed Andy. And so she wants to open the case, I guess. And so she decides to do it for a school project. But then she discovers a lot of secrets that could put her in danger. And then also the romance is between Pip and Ravi. And Ravi is Sal, the guy who died or who killed himself. because everybody thought that Andy was murdered by Sal. Ravi is Sal's brother. And so the romance is between them, and basically he decides to kind of help her, but like, it's really good. And the plot twist was like, where did that even come from? So it was really good. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. So then we have the Samurai Champloo series by Jenny Han. This is the first book, the Samurai Champloo. This is I'm not going to go into super detail about these two, since if you haven't read the first book, you don't need to read these two. But this is the first book. This is basically about a girl named Belly, and every summer she goes to Cousins Beach with her family, and then her mom's best friend, and the mom's best friend's 2 sons. And so basically the 2 sons are named I mixed their names together, Conrad and Jeremiah. And so basically, like, they've never really like been her friend or anything. Like, she hasn't really gotten to hang out with them a bunch, because they're like, she was younger than them, and so they're like, you don't know, like, no. But then apparently this summer she turned pretty, and so everybody was like, okay, well, now you can hang out with us. And now Conrad and Jeremiah are fighting over her. So it's a love triangle between Conrad, Jeremiah, and Belly, and she has to decide who she wants to date and if any of them are worth her time, because, well, she just like became a woman, so why does she need a man immediately, you know? So, and then there's the second 2 books. This one is It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer, and it's basically them like all it's basically all of them is like them just trying to decide, but it's not like repetitive. So, because there's different plots in each book, I just can't say the plots because then it would spoil the first book. But there's that. They were all 5 stars for me. So, then the last 4 books, we have The Upside of Falling. This book actually used to be a Wattpad book before they turned it into a real book, but this book is about Brent and Becca, and basically Becca is like super shy and Brent is like super popular. And so Becca is literally being bullied in the middle of the hallway for not having a boyfriend. And so Brent shows up and he's like, just like starts kissing her. And so everybody's like, oh, she does have a boy, because Becca says, I have a boyfriend, and they're like, who is he? And so Brent's like, me, and he just like starts kissing her. And so everybody's like, oh, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would he like her? And so basically they decide to fake date so she won't get bullied. I think he has a reason, but I don't remember his reason. And so she's like, she's like they just decide to fake date, and it's really cheesy, but like a good cheesy, if that makes any sense. Probably not, but anyway. So this book, I think I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. So this book is good. And then the last 3 books is another series. This is the Inheritance Game series. So there's the first book, which is the Inheritance Game. So this book is basically, hang on. This book is about Avery Graham. And so basically somebody shows up at her school one day and is like, you have an inheritance for like tons of money and like a mansion and all these like stuff. And so she's like, I don't know anybody that's rich. And they're like, well, it's like in your name, so come on. And so they take her and like away. I don't know where she went or where she lived, but they take her to a different part of the country, and she shows up at this house that like apparently she owns now. Well, that she doesn't, that she's on the track to own, and there's 4 brothers there, and they're all angry at her because, well, it was their grandfather that gave her the inheritance, so why, like, they were supposed to get that, why, like, they shouldn't, why does she get this? And so they're all angry at her, and until 2 of them are not. And so it's a love triangle, and it is really good. It's also a mystery because they're trying to uncover, like, why does she have this inheritance? Because they don't know each other. So it's very good, and there's romance in it too. So, and then the second two books the second book is The Hawthorne Legacy, and the third book is The Final Gambit. So, and I'm not going to go into detail about those because then it would spoil the first book, but that's it. So, thank you for watching. If you have any other book requests, comment down below and subscribe. Bye bye.